bonus session of the Fund Your Freedom Challenge. I'm delighted that you could join us here. Please pop into the chat where you're joining us from, which platform, which country, which city. Love to hear from you guys and find out where you're coming from. Love this tool, Restream, because it allows us to broadcast into YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all kinds of places, and of course, all across most of the world. So please pop into the chat and we'll feature you. We'll pull your comment up as you chat. So love that little feature of Restream as well. So last week we had a challenge, the Fund Freedom Challenge. It was a 5-day event where we got together with folks and we did a lot of instruction about different aspects of funding your freedom, and mainly through virtual programs, coaching programs, such that you can launch a program, earn recurring revenue, be compensated for your efforts, and continue to help people so that you can have more impact, make more money, and have more influence. So folks enjoyed our challenge, and we're doing a couple of bonus sessions here. We do have a special guest today who's going to tell us about her experience with challenges. And also joining me today is Terry Brock, my partner. Mr. Brock,
Hello
there we
there.
go.
Gina, great to be here with you.
Well, you shared some great information last week, and I know a number of people have already signed up for our Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program. The link is in the comments right below, fundyourfreedomaccelerator.com. You can get all kinds of details about it, but it's a brand new program that we've launched recently to help folks. It's basically a done with you program so that we can help you and support you as you're learning, as you're doing, getting your message out into the world and coaching people, helping people. So it's a support, accountability. We have community and masterminding and some laser coaching. And our folks, we just started it recently and our folks are really enjoying it. And we're so excited about it. Terry, anything you'd like to share on that?
Well, I like the emphasis on the done with you. Well, too often we see programs where you get a chance to watch some videos on YouTube. Those are good, or you're watching videos somewhere, and that's nice, or you're reading some content, or even maybe attending a webinar where you're just listening. But when you can have someone that does something with you, emphasis on the with, you're learning how to do it. You're learning, this is what I do. I'm getting really an apprenticeship. You're getting someone who already knows what to do, show you how to do it and do it with you repetitiously, so that when you do try something and it doesn't work out just right, not just if, but when, then you got someone to say, oh, okay, hold it. We did it this way. Let's do it this way. And it might work better that way. And so you've got that help all the way through. And I really like having that myself. So that's what we wanted to do in this program, put it together so that others get a chance to have someone with them being able to help. Gina, you know how I like to use the word with in different languages to say, like, you and me, мы вместе, we're together. In Russian, and we'll do that. So еще не des, in Japanese, we're together. That's a good thing. So I think the idea of doing it with someone is really a good idea.
Well, I love that too. Things are so much more fun when you have someone to do them with, and that's what we're doing with our new community of Fund Your Freedom Accelerators.
Oh, that's what we're doing
So,
with our new community. Yes, I like that. Good. Good way to start the head again.
oh, exactly. Well, let's bring on our special guest today because she has some fantastic information. She was a recent guest on our Video Rockstars program where she shared some terrific information. April Callis Birchmeier is with us. She is a Ccmp and a PMP, and she's going to tell us what those mean in just a little bit. She's also an internationally known organizational change management expert who has implemented change for government, healthcare, higher education, and corporate clients. And she's the author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, Ready, Set, Change, Simplify and Accelerate Your Organizational Change. Welcome, April. Delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, tell us a little bit about your business and what the Ccmp and PMP mean.
Well, the Ccmp is the Certified Change Management Professional designation, and it's a designation from the Association of Change Management Professionals. Relatively new designation. First year they started this certification was in 2016, so just 5 years old. And PMP is probably more familiar. It's Project Management Professional, and that's from the Project Management Institute. The thing I really like about the designation for the Ccmp, besides the fact that it's relatively new, and I've had the opportunity to really be one of the first to earn it, is the fact that there's so many different applications for change management, which is kind of that combination of training and development, communication skills, business process redesign, and project management.
And you've launched your own certification. Tell us about that. Why did you do that?
Well, I provide a course certification. So I started about a year ago. I created a course for people who wanted to earn the ACMP certification, the Ccmp. For folks who wanted to earn that, I started teaching a course that you could complete that. And it's part of it's one of the qualified education provider courses for the Association of Change Management Professionals. So I knew that I had been doing organizational change management for a long time. And the association started looking to build this certification, and they needed training. So I created training for people who wanted to earn that certification. And that's what they are able to get from me, is kind of this certification. They finished their Ready, Set, Change Mastery 101 course.
Well, April, you have done a lot with change management. I love that concept because it's so important. And you look at it from a scientific point of view of what works best psychologically with change, what doesn't work, and all that. And then you're bringing that into a challenge, using a challenge to help people out with this. Tell us a little bit about how people have received the idea of a challenge and what you have found some of the pros or cons of doing a challenge.
I'm really thrilled with the challenges, and I have to credit Gina for really introducing me to challenges. I started my first challenge was about this time last year. I did a free 5-day challenge to help people study for their Ccmp exam. So because I have this change management expertise and I already have this certification myself, I felt like I'm the perfect person to help people prepare and study for this exam. So our 5-day challenge was from noon to 1 o'clock every day. I got that idea from Gina. Noon to 1 o'clock every single day for 5 days straight. And we would play some Kahoot games with people and explain the standard for change management and how they could study to really prepare for and then pass their Ccmp exam. So the first time I did it was last December, and it was such a huge hit. We then did another one at the end of January last year, and we decided last January to charge a little bit for it. So we charged, I think, $47 for the challenge. And I was surprised that we still had people sign up for the challenge. And then we did another challenge, and we charged $77. And now the new iteration of the challenge that's coming out, actually we have 2 challenges in January, and I'll tell you about that in a moment, but those are going for $97. And what I thought was interesting was people feel it's so important to prepare and to study for an exam that they're willing to spend a little bit of money to invest in their success by passing that exam.
Yeah, by the way, I think what you're doing is really admirable. And those of you watching this, think about what April has done. She's found something that is a need. People need to know about how to deal with change. So now she has a organization that gives certification on that, showing steps that are logical, that make sense. And now she makes that available to people. So it's not just, hey, you'll learn how to smile a little bit nicer. Well, that's okay, but would we pay for that? No, but how to handle change? Oh, that's important, and that can affect your business. And I think what you have done that I admire so much is you've helped people with a direct line to the money. That's important. A direct line to learn this, how to deal with change. That will help you in business. I think it's important. What do you see are some of the major benefits of using the structure of a challenge to help train and to teach versus some of the other, say, a webinar or more traditional ways of education and training?
Oh, that's a great question, Terry. I think the thing that I love about the challenges is the fact that it's quick. You know, I can do something for a week. You asked me to commit for 8 weeks. I don't know if I can make it 8 weeks. I have a limited attention span. But if I have to just buckle down and do something for 5 days in a row, I can do it, you know. And I think there's something very positive about a challenge because you're going to tackle this one thing and you're going to spend, you know, this short window of time and you're just going to go for it. And the thing that I love that I really learned from you is the fact that the challenge is the first step, right? Like somebody goes through your challenge. In my challenge, one of the first things we talk about are how to make sure you're eligible to take the exam. Well, you have to have completed 21 hours of qualified education provider training. Well, I'm a qualified education provider. And by the way, I have a course that starts next week. So people who are finding out in the challenge they need to have training, they can go right into training. And one of the things that was very interesting in our challenge was that we started to notice that we had two types of people coming into the challenge. We had people who had already completed their CCMP application and were approved to take the exam, and they wanted to study. And then we had people who wanted to take the exam, but had not yet completed their application. So they weren't ready to study, because if they study now and they haven't finished their application, they're not going to remember the information long enough to get it to the exam. So we broke the one challenge into two challenges. And on January 10th of this year, we're going to do the study challenge. Now listen to the thinking on this. We're doing the study challenge where people are preparing for their exam. And then on the 17th, the week later, we're doing the application challenge. So if I run into any people in my study challenge who haven't applied for the exam yet, I can ask them to come into the application challenge instead. The application challenge feeds the course, and the study challenge feeds what's now this a brand new product, which is an exam simulator to help people practice all of the questions that they'll need to really be able to pass the CCMP exam.
Damn, where were you when I was studying for the GMAT? You know, the Graduate Management Admissions Test. That would have been really good to have that kind of methodology and system in place to say, here's what you're going to do. I just kind of walked into it, bumping around, getting stumbled, getting bruised and bloodied all over the place. Eventually made it through, but boy, that would have been really handy.
Yeah, I think you did okay, Terry.
Well, we did all right. But those of you watching this, I want you to think about what April is doing. This makes a lot of sense. You want to get to know this person because see what she's doing and learn how you can take it and craft it and mold it to what you're doing. You find a need where people have a real need in the marketplace, and it's a direct line to the money. When you can handle change, you can implement change better in an organization, you get more money. You save the organization money. If you do it wrong, you cost them a lot of money and cost jobs and all kinds of nastiness. But if you learn that need is there, and then you can develop the curriculum, the courses that are certified. She didn't just read a book on this once and decide to do all this. She's been doing it for a long time. She has the respect of those in the industry, those who really know that industry. And so you have probably put your time into something else that is very important, something where you have an expertise. And if you don't have that expertise, get out there and get it. What April is doing is really admirable, I think. Gina, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's absolutely brilliant. I'm just so impressed every time I have a chat with you, April. I learn something new, and I'm intrigued by the way that you've built your business. And I've seen you move from summits to you were doing a lot of summits for a while. I don't know. Are you still doing summits? And could you share with us? You are still doing summits. Oh, okay.
Well, I have one coming soon. Yes, after we get through the January challenges and we have a boot camp. Once we get through that, we'll start working on our next summit. We're going to do one more.
I think that'll be coming, you said January of this year, but I think you mean January of next year, which as we're recording, that'll be January of 2022.
2022.
Yeah. So in other words, 2022.
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
Excellent.
Well, April, could you share with us how much is the program that you offer, that you invite them to join you in at the end of the program? And basically you said you've been doing this for about a year. How much have you earned from the challenges that you feel were pretty direct results from your challenges?
Yeah. So the first challenge that we did last January was free, and then we rolled that over into a folks who were in that group came into the Ready Set Change Mastery 101 course, and that course is $1147. So $1,147 for an 8-week course, and that gives them 21 hours for the that applies to the exam. So I ended up with 12 people in my challenge, and 10 of those people came into my course. So if you do the math, it's about $1,100 or $11,000, and so that's what we did right off the first challenge. The second challenge, then we charged for that challenge. It was $47. I had about 8 people in that challenge. And then we actually rolled into the course, and we had 2 people register for the course, but my calendar got kind of full, and I asked them if they would mind waiting until August for the next iteration. Then in August, we did pick up those 2 folks in the Change Mastery class. And so I know that we raised our price of our challenge at that point to $77. And again, we had 12 people sign up. So I think 12 is the magic number for me. We ended up with 6 of those folks converting into the 1147 course. And then recently, just actually last month, we launched an exam simulator, which is a game and study platform that you can go into and practice. We have 22 games that you can play to get yourself ready for the courses. The games have anywhere from 25 to 60 questions each. So we have over 700 questions, and you can play these games to get yourself really prepared for the exam. We did a webinar where we sold, and it's $400 for the exam simulator. We did a webinar. We had the first webinar, we had 7 people sign up. And then we did a second webinar. We had like 15 people signed up for the webinar. 4 people showed up for the webinar. And of those 4 people, 3 people bought that simulator. So we're having a high conversion rate. And our goal now is to really buckle down and get the word out through our email list many more times than we have currently been, so that we can really get people to attend the webinar and understand the exam simulator, move into the course. And then, of course, we have a membership that we're opening for, like a weekend, like Stu does. So that's what we're planning.
I like that. I love your approach. I want to circle back to what you said you're doing. I think it is just brilliant that you're able to help people, and you get a short time. They don't have to spend 300 years to learn this thing. They get it real quick, and that's nice. By the way, good to see Bob Pick on joining us as well here. Bob, I hope you're doing well over there in Chicago. Long time no see. But April, I think the way you're doing that, where somebody can say, hey, I want to learn X, whatever X might be. They need to learn it, and there's a direct line to the money. Hey, I'll get a job if I do this. I'll get more bookings, or I can do more. And you do that in a very short, highly focused time. It's like we say, okay, I know that next month on the 4th and 5th, that month, we're going to do this and this activity. And I'm going to just put everything aside, clear out my schedule, tell everyone I'm not available those days, focus on it, and get the job done. I applaud that. Have you seen good results with that from the people that are taking the courses?
Well, I have, and we're unveiling a very new thing. This also in January, coming up at January 22. We are doing our very first boot camp. So we're going to take what has been an 8-week course, and we're consolidating it into 3 weekends. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Thursday, Saturday, and then Friday, Saturday, and you're done. So it's really nice because you could spend some of your afternoon on a Friday, Thursday or Friday, and some of your morning on Saturday. And in 3 weekends, you're done with the boot camp. So we're trying that for the first time. I think we're going to have quite a bit of participation because, many people just don't want to wait 8 weeks to get through all of their training. They want to go and they want to get their certification. So we're excited about that.
I totally love it. And I love how you are so focused on this particular audience. And because you are your avatar, right? You
Yeah.
are someone who went through this process and now, and so you know them very well. You know exactly what their pain points are and what their needs are. Uh, did you fear at all being too niched?
Well, I did worry about it at first, but I actually feel like because this is a growing designation, there's a huge market of people who are trying to, earn this designation, and very much like the PMP, the project management professional, it's a difficult designation to earn. I mean, it's a hard certification. The test is 150 questions, and it's multiple choice, but they're very difficult. And some of the questions are scenario based. So you have to really understand how to apply different change management tools and how to conduct certain activities and really recognize what it is that will help people move from that current state to the future state. And so this exam is tough to pass. I know how to pass it. I've passed it. I teach this all the time. I don't think it's too niche for me because this really is my sweet spot. I'd love to do a broader certification like PMP, but honestly, there's a million and a half PMPs in the world right now. There's only about 1,500 Ccmps currently, and there's at least 100, maybe 150 vendors who are all focused on that PMP exam, whereas I'm really one of 2 or 3 other people who are really focused on helping people prepare.
I love that. I think that's so smart. And I've shared your website down below. If you guys want to get in touch with April, springboard-consult.com will get you there. But April, you have just been a delight. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your expertise, your secrets with us, and helping us understand how you're merging these different marketing technologies. You use summits, you use webinars, you use challenges, and then you create the certification, and you've created the what was it called, the
Exam
simulator.
simulator. Yes, that is our pride and joy at the moment. It's very exciting to have that.
And did you say you use Kahoot to do that?
Yes, and there's nothing else like it. There's not even, I mean, there's like a book that has some paper exams that you can, put in the A, B, C, D, and then check on the back page. But this is all online, and it's fun. It's interactive. People love it. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, how do you
Well,
spell that?
very
For
good.
someone who's interested in that, how would they find out about Cahoots?
Well, Kahoot is a interactive game platform. It's Kahoot, but we've purchased a professional license and then we went through the entire standard for change management and created questions that are on the exam, types of questions that are on the exam that people can then practice answering with this interactive game platform. So we
Very
really
good.
love it.
That's fantastic. And for those of you watching who are in Video Rockstars, April did teach this a lot about this certification and how she used Kahoots a few weeks ago in the Video Rockstars session, our weekly session with our community of influencers who are using video marketing to build their business. And so you can go to the recordings and find April's. It's in the membership vault. But April, you're just amazing. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate you.
Well, I have to thank you because I really owe it to you that you've shown me how to, do these challenges. I've been watching you for years, how you go about doing challenges. And I thought, well, that really looks like a smart idea. So I owe a lot to the two of you, especially you, Gina, in terms of figuring out how to get this done. And it really is funding a lot of freedom for me. So I love it.
That's the whole idea.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Great to see you,
And-
April. Thank you.
Great to see you. Thanks.
All righty. Well, and if you guys want to learn, well, yes. Okay. If you want to learn more about how to run challenges, how to build your marketing funnel, we're working with folks right now on that in our new Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program. So you can go to fundyourfreedomaccelerator.com. We have support, we have community, we have accountability, we do masterminding, and we have laser coaching. We have this new program, and so we're listening to our audience to see what they need so that we can support them as they generate these new streams of recurring revenue. Those are two of my favorite words. Well, let's see. There's a lot of my favorite words in that: fund your freedom and recurring revenue. Those make me very happy.
I'm feeling the
So,
tingling up and down my spine already with those.
oh, yes. Well, Terry, in our Fund Your Freedom Challenge last week, and those replays are still out, they'll be out until this evening. But you talked a lot about NFTs and blockchain. I know these are some things that you're very passionate about. Would you just give a little recap of what an NFT is and how we'll be learning about that in our Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program?
Sure, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The NFTs, the cryptocurrency, all those things that are going on right now are really changing our world, and they have some good in there. It really goes back to the idea of blockchain. And blockchain is a database that is in different places, not just one place. So that way, it's in many places, all simultaneously updated, which means it's much more secure than a traditional hold all your money in one place or hold all the ideas in one place. And because we can use that, it's done a lot of things. Of course, the most popular and the most used way where it came out first was with the cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the way for people to have some digital money, if you will, even though it's treated as property in the United States, it can still be used as money. And matter of fact, is being used that way in many parts of the world, specifically El Salvador. It is now legal currency there. So with the blockchain and Bitcoin together, you have something that works very, very smoothly, very easy, and it's immutable on everything that happens is on every node that has a record of that, so that then we know what's going on in the world with it. Now, the NFTs are the non-fungible tokens. And what that means is that you can get a piece of something and be able to have that certified in the blockchain, and no one can deny that you have it or you use it. It's kind of like if I had the real Mona Lisa picture. That would be a lot of money. I don't have that. And it's over in the Louvre, which is where it should be. But by having that, if you had that and they sold it or something, it'd be sold for a very high price because it's an original and people would know that. But we can go get pictures of it. There's a lot of pictures of that, and they're not worth as much, if anything. So by having a non-fungible token, people say, you own this and we can prove it. And it erases any doubt. You don't have to worry about trusting someone to verify it. It's verified by mathematics in the blockchain. People are using this now in many different ways. For instance, to give a non-fungible token with animals. Gary Vaynerchuk is famous for that, doing it with some of the stuffed animals or the cartoon characters, I should say, that are there. And he's created those, and he gets a non-fungible token. He was able to sell over $1 million worth of his books pre-sale because of that. He's putting that in there. People can buy the original footage of a basketball game of a certain scene and own that. And it's in blockchain that they can own it. The idea being later on, they get taken and let someone else buy it. So this has some tremendous possibilities. And Gina, I'm just really excited about it all. I think there's some real potential with it, and we see some good things developing. What are your thoughts on the whole thing of Bitcoin, blockchain, NFT, and all this stuff that's really tied up with Web 3.0?
Well, I'm very excited about the use of non-fungible tokens as a way to build community. What I'm so excited about is I've learned that instead of charging someone, let's say $500 for a course, that I could sell them $500 of a non-fungible token, which is almost like a share of stock in the program. And then rather than giving me that token back, they are able to participate in this event, this program that I'm doing, by holding on to that stock. So it's it's a little bit confusing, I know, and I'm just learning about it myself because in the past, or when I was first introduced to non-fungible tokens, it was these cartoon-looking characters, and that's really the way that it was used. But it's so much more than that now, and so I'm really digging into it, and I do see in the very near future that this will be a way that we finance, or we are able to finance a lot of our programs and build community that way.
Yeah, I think so. It's got a lot of potential. So that's one of the things that we'll be covering, showing people how to use cryptocurrency, how to get into it and actually go that route if they want to. We're not making any financial advice, though. It's only educational purposes. And so that you can decide, okay, I might try to learn something like if you were to buy a book. Okay, that's one thing to do. And we'll look at what is available and what is there. So we'll find a lot of capabilities that are out there for many different applications. And Gina, what else is going to be in the program?
Well, we'll be helping folks with their revenue model. And so that's one of the questions that we get a lot is, what kind of program should I launch? Should I launch a short-term course? Should I launch a low-price membership program? Should I launch a high-ticket offer such as masterminding or coaching? And so there's some rules of thumb and some reasons why you would choose one or the other. And of course, it'll be very customized to each person as we're instructing and teaching. But there's some basic rules of thumb that are out there that for the most of the folks that are in our program already, it's going to be recommending that they go with a higher ticket offer because that's you don't need as many people if you have a high ticket offer. So you just need a few quality people to make your program work. And I do see that we're joined by our community manager, Dorothy Villegas. Dorothy, would you like to pop on the screen there? Hello,
Hi,
Dorothy.
nice to have you here with us.
Nice to have
And
you
Dorothy,
too. Nice to see you, everyone.
Well, I know a lot of people haven't seen you in person here, and so this is not exactly in person, but now they're getting to see you. Where are you coming into us from today?
I am actually coming from Canada. I'm tuning in from Canada. It's freezing, it's snowing, but I'm here live and tuning in to Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program, question and answer program.
Fantastic. Well, glad to have you here. I know you're doing so many things to support our community, and you've actually been attending the sessions that we've done already on the Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program. What are you seeing that you're enjoying the most and getting the most out of?
Well, I really like the idea of getting clarity on the expertise of the individual on the program. So by attending the 5 day one, it gives the clarity on the expert authority. What's the expertise and how to monetize that expertise? And then it's moving along to the next day, then being understanding the category of one or how to become expert into the industry that you're in. Then you move to the next day of the challenge. Then you creating contents that's compelling, it's quality content. Then the next day you learn on how to monetize different ways on how to get paid. Then on the fifth day, people in the challenge learn how to generate revenues from the expertise that you have to that you can share to the world. So in 5 days, you get the taste of how, when you have the expertise, cultivating your expert authority and being the category of one into your expertise, and how you're going to be visible online, how to create a compelling and quality content, packaging that, selling, and different ways of how to get paid. So I find that those sequence is really important. And in 5 days, you'll be able to learn that. You'll be able to have the clarity of what you can do, what you are good at, and how you can showcase your expertise to the world. And if you want more and you want to learn more, then Gina and Terry has the program that they can go and deep dive into your program, creating um, the momentum and creating more in-depth into who you really serve, what problems you're solving, and how you're going to help the people that you are really serving, and how you're going to go into different channels on how you're going to promote the services and the program that you're creating, and targeting the client that is really um, in line to what you're serving. Clients who's willing to listen to you, clients who are really dying to hear the message that you're going to share and how they're going to help them. So I think that's really important to be into the program, that if you want support, if you want accountability, if you want um, someone who can tell you, oh, this might be a good idea to do this. So direct feedback from the people who's really doing it, people who's expert into the field. So the program, the accelerator program, is really a great way to be in. And if you are really wanting to accelerate the business for 2022, I encourage you to be in the program, to join the group of experts who can help you and move you forward into 2022. Because you can go to different programs or free programs that you can find on YouTube. However, if you join the experts who's already experienced or who already doing um, this for many years, and they see results from the people who join, that they help, this will help accelerate your business moving forward to 2022. So I always believe investing into yourself and be with the people who you want to become. And I believe that if this is what you're looking for 2022, you're looking for accelerating your business, you want support, accountability, masterminding with different people who are in the same mindsets, the same level that you're looking for, then I encourage you to be in the accelerator program so that you can accelerate your business for 2022. So that's what I can see and I enjoy about the program, and new ways to get paid. That's really one thing that's really important too, because as we move forward to 2022, we need to be aware about how do we get paid. We get expertise, but how do we get paid? How do we market that? So I encourage you to be to check out Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program to see if this is a right program for you and if you want to accelerate your business for 2022. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, you have just been doing such a fantastic job supporting our members of the Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program, as well as our Video Rockstars program. And you have become quite a whiz on the back-end technology. I think just a few weeks ago, you hadn't used Kartra before. And now I see the things that you're creating, and you're just so amazing, and really, really appreciate all that you're doing to help us. It takes a team to support our communities these days. Okay. Well, we do have the fundyourfreedomaccelerator.com. So just go there. And to Dorothy's point of, it helps you to accelerate. So I know in the past when I have paid for programs that have helped me, it's because I needed some expertise. I needed specific expertise, and I wanted to shorten the time frame that it was going to take to get there. So that's what you do when you're accelerating, right? When you got your foot on the gas in the car. So that's what we are going to help people do. Instead of it taking you all this time and all this circuitous effort, and as Dorothy mentioned, stumbling through videos on YouTube that you don't know if that's right for you or not, Terry Brock and I are going to be able to help you really narrow in on what areas you should focus on, because in that focus is going to come the power and is going to come the real revenue. So we look forward to helping you with that. Terry, I did want you to pop back on. I know one of the favorite events last week was when you talked about relationship marketing, and then Jane Gary, our programs director, talked about relationship selling. Would you give us just a little summary of relationship marketing and how you explained it in our session?
Sure. Thanks for asking. The relationship marketing idea is something that I've been working with for a number of years now, speaking about it around the world in different places. And I find that business is really about building relationships, people that you know, like, and trust. We've heard that so many times, and it's relevant that you know them, you like them, and trust them. And now that's even being modified. I remember we were talking about this in Video Rockstars just recently, that we're seeing an alteration of that. I'm thinking not just knowing them, but like loving them, and not like just liking, but loving people, and really getting a chance to see it, because there's so many people out there right now. There's so much competition that you know and like, but you need to have a little bit more than that in order to trust. So I forget who it was that wrote that article about it, but a really important concept that is available. But I think the idea of relationship marketing is very much like farming. I like to liken it to farming. I grew up in the Midwest in Michigan, and we were out in farm country. We were not on a farm ourselves, but we had our friends and neighbors around us were on many farms. And I'd often go over to see my friends and do the chores and go through the different kinds of activities that you do when you're on a farm. And I found that business very much like that. You have to start by studying the market before you go somewhere to wonder, hey, is there a real demand for this? So you look for that. And in farming, you have to study what the market is saying. What kind of products do they need? Do they need more soybeans or more wheat or more apples or potatoes or what? Because you got to decide, what am I going to plant in this soil? You can plant a lot of things, but you're committing to a whole season that say, hey, I'm going to go with, say, potatoes. And you put it in there. If there's a big demand for potatoes, you'll do well, because then a lot of people will pay more for the potatoes that you can grow. But if there's a lot of people doing potatoes and not as much demand, there's an oversupply, the price will go down. And that makes it tough. And so you got to constantly study that market. Business is like that. You got to look at what people are looking for. Then you got to prepare the soil. You got to study that soil first. You don't try to grow things in Michigan like we grow here in Florida, where I am now. We have a lot of citrus, orange trees, and we have lemons and grapefruit and wonderful things like that here in Florida. They don't do a lot of that up in Michigan. The soil is different. The climate is different. And so obviously you have to study that. But business is like that too. Don't just think, I've got a dandy idea, go out there and do it. You want to find out what the market is saying. Then you got to till the soil. You got to prepare it for that. You put the seeds in there. You make sure that it's taken care of. And then while you plant the seeds, it doesn't happen the next day. Like in business, you've got to sow those seeds for a relationship. We even use that analogy, saying sow the seeds, get to know people, let them see what you're doing. And that's where we're doing this in the Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program. We're going to show you how you can start studying the market and then create content that is really compelling. How to create content through video, through audio, through text, through pictures, a variety of different ways, so that you can communicate your message very well. And then in farming, we have all of those activities we go into, taking care of the soil, but then you got to take care of it from all kinds of enemies of your crops, enemies like natural weather, fires that can come, floods that can come, all kinds of many different things that can ruin your crops. Got to watch out for that. Watch out for animals that can come in and try to steal your food as well. That's why we put up fences, put them in the right places. You put it in some way that's secure, or even sometimes people coming by and trying to take it. So you got to make sure that you're using that. And then you stay with it all the way through. Farming is hard work. And once you do it, though, you get to a place called harvest. And harvest means you're getting in there and you got to hustle even more, because you make hay while the sun shines. Do it when you get out there and make it happen within a given period of time. Otherwise, the crops can rot in the field and they're no longer growing, but they're dying. So you've got to make sure you do that. Well, in business, it's the same thing. There's a right time to swing into action for marketing and for selling and doing that. So I find that metaphor really tends to help me. And Gina, as I've worked with that through the years, I found that people tend to like that idea and see it, because farming is one of those things that really helps a lot of people in many different ways. It shows us what we can do, shows us what we have the possibility to do. And I think that'll be one of the things that we talk about in a nice way there in the Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program.
Absolutely. Well, we invite you to join us, invite you to check out the information that we've shared and what the program's all about at the fundyourfreedomaccelerator.com. As well, you can schedule a strategy session with our programs director, Jane Gary, at fundyourfreedom.youcanbook.me. as you can see in the chat right there and the captions below. So she'll have a strategy session with you and see if what you're doing, if it would make sense for you to join us in the Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program. And if not, she'll let you know that. And in any case, you're going to get a lot of great advice from her because she's super smart and she's helped a lot of people craft their programs, put them together, get them out to the marketplace, and most importantly, get paid for them, get them sold. She's a sales expert and a copywriting expert, so she's really seen a lot and helped a lot of people. So with that, Terry, any final thoughts? Let's wrap up here.
Well, I think the idea of funding your freedom is very important. You can have the ideas of wanting to do certain things in life and freedom. And I have to go back to what my friend and colleague who's no longer with us, Zig Ziglar, said, that he said, you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's what Fund Your Freedom is all about. You fund it by finding ways that you can identify where the market is, identify that soil that is ripe, what kind of market, what kind of products people are looking for to consume, and then you produce that in a way that is cost effective for you and affordable for your target market. And then execute on it. And that's what we're going to do, as it's a do with you program, not just something that you're going to do on your own by watching a bunch of videos, but we're doing it with you. And Gina, I'm thinking that combination can be very good for people.
Yes, it's going to be, well, it's already, I think, qualified as wonderful, and it's going to get even more wonderfuler.
I like that.
As
Even
folks
more
are
wonderfuler. Not good English, but we get the idea.
One of the things that we've built into the program is the ability for people to ask a lot of questions and get direct feedback on exactly what they're doing, what their challenge is, what they're stuck, where they're stuck at that moment. And so what's the next logical step? What's the next move to make? There's so many different options and so many distractions. So we're going to help folks focus, and through the accountability piece, they'll be reporting back how they did, what they did. And because it's a small, intimate group right now, we're really going to be able to help and support each other. So with that, let's wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to put in the chat who you are and where you're coming in from, we'd still love to see that. Just go ahead and pop it into the chat, and we'll be monitoring the comments over the next 48 hours or so. So just pop it in there and we should see it.
All right. Well, Gina, thanks for all you're doing on this, and looking forward to working with you in the Fund Your Freedom Accelerator program.
Thank you.